Welcome to another video. My name is Daniel and this is the Wild and Survival channel. In this video we're going to look at how to start a fire. Many of you have probably already seen this before, but my viewers, not all my viewers, are well known on how to make a fire. And the thing is, we have to start very small and we have to work ourselves up. A little handsaw doesn't take space, so I rather also bring this. This is a knife from Ben & Lois Orford. It's called the Woodlander and it's a full-tanged knife, and that means also that I can actually strike on the knife to make it use as an axe. And apart from that, it has a little finger place, so I can do some fine work. On the first line here is you have the smallest one, and this is called in English shavings, and this is homemade. This will burn really quickly. Something that will also almost burn very quickly is birch bark. And birch bark has some oil, and birch is the bark is very good to have, and you can find it everywhere. Keep in mind that birch is a hardwood, so it's difficult to actually ignite the birch unless you cut it quite in different sizes. So if you only have birch, you will probably need to do a lot more work than if you use another kind of tree. The other tree that I have here is spruce, and this is dead. Most of the time you will find spruce as well, and it's really easy to actually just break it from the tree. So spruce is already dead as well, as it is standing and almost always dry. The same go with pine, but pine you cannot break too much twigs from as you can do with the spruce. So it's easier to use for spruce. If you find dead spruce or a standing spruce, it's way easier to work with spruce. Also, sometimes with spruce, if you break it, the dead, you will probably find resin, or tyril, as we call it in fatwood, as we call it in Norwegian. This doesn't have fatwood. But it is so dry that it will go well instead. Okay, let's look at the other kind of sizes. Next we call the pencil twigs, and those are the twigs you probably can just break from the bottom of the pine or spruce, or you can just pick it up from the ground. Most of those doesn't matter if they are a little bit green, and most of them you can always pick from the ground. So this from the trees, this you make yourself, and this for the ground. Before I go any further, I'm going to show you how to do these curls of shavings. I use the finger place and I put the tree down. You can do it either this way, and you just bend your knife really slow. Try to use all the blade. I'm not using that now. There we go. A little bit better. Those are the curls or shavings, and you can just break them off. There's another way to do this a little bit better, and that is if you put the knife like this and just use one other twig hold it down and don't apply too much force, just let it do the work for you. Okay, and now we have a fireplace here already, but I normally have is always water here. I have also used water to put around the water and stones, so there is no need of worrying about that fire spreads around. So now that we have ready, I will say I have used like effective 20 minutes gathering all this. Perhaps a little bit too much, depends on the fire that you are making. But the thing is that when you about to make a fire and you make a fire, a good fire, then it's no need to keep it small. Unless you want to keep it small, you can bring it to a bigger level. So let's put the shavings here at first. This is all natural materials, and then the knife also has a fire steel tenstål, we call it in Norwegian. And the way to use this is to use the back of your knife and strike it there. But one thing that many do wrong is to strike it from above here. You have to keep it down. And you try to strike it on the spark and just keep it going. There we go. You put all those seeds on top. And then we get the pencil ones. You see how quickly that works? It's because of the birch bark and the shavings. Then we put the pencil and wait a little bit. As soon as we see the pencil twigs gets fire, we put bigger ones. There we go. And we put bigger ones on top. This is the correct way to start a fire so it don't die on you. And you need to constantly be caring of the fire until it has red glows or coal. If you put too big now, you will kvele the fire. Now that it's nice and big, you can wait a little bit and then put bigger ones. As you go, no need to put all there, but once in a while, because they will last a longer time. But there is now more warm in the fire, and it can handle it alone without you need to stressing around. If you use too much time blowing on the fire or using your sitting mat to just make a fire, then you probably done a little bit less work than you should have done. And the good fires are when you have good coal and you partly don't need to do anything. If you see wood that have make sounds or bubbles, they're probably wet or green. There is no need unless you have in plan of making a special kind of fire. I have a video on that as well, because you can actually make different types of fire. This is the most usual one. There is no need to keep it small, so you can bring it big as soon as you have one, so it can last you a long time. And if you do a lot of pre-work and you don't stress with it, and you gather wood and process it, then you can already have the wood here without you running around, because this will stress you out. So I hope you have learned something from this video. Like I said, there are people that are my subscribers that aren't aware on how to make a fire. The worst condition to make a fire in my place is when it's been raining and then it's frozen. So it gets rainy and then it froze to freeze. That's the worst condition you can have to make a fire. Apart from that, winter is no problem to make a fire. Even in rainy weather it's good to make a fire with the birch bark, because it's always dry, and the pines from the bottom of the tree. If you aren't a subscriber, well, subscribe. Hit the like button, see my expedition video. I'm actually on a 2 weeks expedition right now, and I will soon make my food. So I hope you like this video. Remember, when you are finished with the fire, put water on top and wait. Make sure it's put down, and don't pee on it because some may come afterwards and use the same bonfire. It's a good place if you already have the stones and the fundament built around. You can always use the same fire. So see you next time. Bye.